Will I get in trouble for playing Waylon Jennings? Dear little lady, are you sure you understand the chances taken living a free loving man? I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane. Oh, poor little Wiggin. Wiggin, I wasn't even in Vegas talking about you, and you fucking gotta run your suck fuck. So you want me to make this about you? I will tonight, Wiggin. Wiggin, you're getting a stream tonight, okay? I'm going to do a stream on you, Wiggin. All right? We're going to talk about our relationship and how I got started and all that, right? Hey, you say you made me, right? I'm famous because of you, Wiggin. You want to make me unfamous. Is that the deal? Well, there's only one way you're going to be able to make Billy Hayden unfamous, and that's to come up on my panel and make me fucking rage quit. That's the only way. If you can conquer me on my panel, then you're a fucking bigger man than I am. I've conquered you on your panel. You even told people you can't do anything about Billy, so we just let him do whatever. And then you lied about giving me a wrench and you next morning, and I fucking, that's not what happened. You're a lying son of a bitch, Wiggin. You're a lying son of a bitch, and you need AI and a whole fucking army of fuck-ups that can't do anything. I ever get close enough to that ring, I'm going to shove it right up your ass. You're going to have to come up here and do it, Wiggin. I fucked JC all up today. Yeah, I went in there using Siberian Gal Pal's picture. Oh, she doesn't do it. Bullshit. There's been more than once I've made a handle and she's attacked it. Especially this last time. I went in as Donald with a picture of Donald Trump. She was the first one to attack me. She didn't know who that was. JC doesn't think I know how to hide a fucking handle. She couldn't figure it. Yeah, that was me, JC. And then Coffee Man said, "Oh, JC, Billy's using my picture." Yeah, in JC's chat about an hour ago or so. Coffee Man crying to Jay, Billy's using it, and it was fucking Terry B's picture. That fucking faggot. Come up here and call me Little Miss Billy, Terry B. I dare you. Come on there, braggart. Show me how to fix a toilet. This motherfucker cried about Bible thumpers. Oh, my neighbors are Bible thumpers. But I do odd jobs for them. Patrick knows what I'm talking about because he's been right there side by side with these motherfuckers the whole time. All these fuckers been in Shannon's chat, every single one of them. Oh, Portly Pygmy, I've had your address for a long time. You just change the name in the picture. You're all fucking, you're like Wiggin. You're all fucking wound up about Billy Hayden. So I just put that Poland address on you. No, it shows the, when you make an account, it shows what country you're in. They're a little more stricter when you get into StreamYard. It's true, Tom. I watched him cry about, he's talking about where he lives. He doesn't own that place. He doesn't own that house. He rents. JC rents. She doesn't own that. Whatever she's fucking showing. And she wants to talk about that guy in fucking Poland. He's got a picture of my porch or my plants, two marijuana plants I was going to keep here, but I sent them out to my nephew. Them motherfuckers, they're fucking 7 feet tall right now, flowering. I wouldn't be able to leave them right here. They fucking steal them. Around here, they fucking take them motherfuckers. Yeah, you were there. You seen it, Patrick. JC's a dumb fucker. She didn't know who that was. Took her a minute. Oh, that's Siberian gal pal. She doesn't do anything to anything. Bullshit. She's attacked my sock accounts. And the last one, I called her out on it. I went in there and she just fucking nasty because she's a Trump hater. Siberian gal pal, she's not mature enough to come up here. She's too good. You guys are too good to go on Billy's panels, aren't you? Yeah, fuck you, assholes. Sorry, Doug. Siberian gal pal is a bitch. No better than JC. You know how many times I was on JC's panel with Shannon? You know how many times JC let Shannon up there when I was up there? I'd go up there and there's Tammy and who else was in there? That fucking Nem and the fucking junk collector, Baba Yaga. I'm your content, Carlisle. Fucking desperate. You haven't destroyed anything, Tom Carlisle, other than your own reputation. Barack Obama. I missed it again.
Chris Plant here. I'm excited to announce next summer's Listener Sea Cruise in July of 2026. Join us as we cruise the Mediterranean. Our early booking sale pricing.
I'm serious. I made a clone of Donald Trump, and just you can't Mr. President Donald John Trump. It won't let you use it. So I narrowed it down to just Donald with Trump's picture, big old smile on his face.
$50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month.
As soon as I posted, Siberian gal pal jumped all over that clone. I forget now what she said, but it wasn't very polite. It was pretty nasty. Like Trump's an idiot. Who the fuck are you, Siberian gal pal? You live with a dog.
An accident on Route 1 at Pine Bluff Drive, and also
I got a Siberian Husky. Makes me a special person because I got a Siberian Husky. She is a lefty. She attacked me. So fuck you, JC. No, there he is. There's Cage. There's Owls. There is the dumb motherfucker right there. There he is, Zenny. There's Owls. That's Cage. You rage quit up on Zenny's a couple days ago when I went up there, didn't you? Boy, Cage. Mark Levin's not in.
In the District of Columbia, and we need to talk about it. I'd love to hear from you. throughout the evening at 8773.
So I'll open my panel up.
It was historic. I mean, listen, we're used to the eyes of the world.
Let's run a panel.
On Washington, D.C.
Let's see what happens.
Our nation's capital, especially over the course of the last 200 days, as the 47th president of the United States, who also happens to be the 45th.
Really? There's a link here. I'll post it again in case there's a glitch.
Federal government and has performed extraordinary.
You guys are fucking slow. You really are.
We're used to the.
You're fucking slow.
In Washington D.C., but not quite like it's been.
JC's a big woman.
Plus days, and certainly
That's a big. JC's a big fat fucking bitch, and she's ugly. She had hair removed from her face. No women go to have their bikini line done, not fucking hair removal.
The Chancellor of Germany, the Prime Minister.
I'm not scared of Wiggin. Wiggins scared of me.
Prime Minister of Italy, and ultimately Volodymyr Zelensky.
Wiggin needs me.
We're all here to help his nation peacefully resolve.
Gee, I wonder who Black Walnut Taro is. Go ahead.
Fucking dumb boomer.
Is that all you want to do is show me some black dick? Is that all you want? You're going to call me dumb bloomer. You're not fast enough, boy. These motherfuckers.
The difference is stark.
You're not fast enough, boy. Try again.
And what occurred today really cannot be overstated.
Come on, Wiggin. You're the porn bomber. You support porn bombers.
This bloody disaster that has occurred in Eastern Europe, and
yeah, Patrick. He changed the picture. Fucking looked like a black dick, and then he left. Come back.
I don't want to lose sight of the great work of the president's team, led by Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, who was
Google. I hope you're watching. These motherfuckers are attacking my chat. Yeah, I'm not doing anything to anybody. I don't make videos. I'm not using AI. I'm not fucking posting people's address constantly. How about it, JC? Where's Doggo Mama at, anyways? How about you, Doggo Mama? You're the biggest fucking flip in here. Rescue pets. You're the one fuck you went to in Gramps chat to get a wrench to wrench me out of that fucking chat way back then. Fuck you, cocksuckers. Kent Briggs.
Immovable, impossible to budge from the positions that they were taking. And yes, a negotiation involves both sides walking away unhappy, unfulfilled, yet at peace. That's the goal here. And as the media in this city, in this nation, continues to root against the president, root against peace, root against the end of this bloody conflict, one must continue to ask, whose side are they in fact on? Because you see, peace.
Don't worry, Patrick, New York. I got this under control.
Hostilities, an end to this war.
You didn't really have time to do anything.
Under the circumstances that are currently and conditions that are currently being contemplated, would be an unequivocal, unadulterated, astounding victory for Donald John Trump. And that the media.
Is that all you got? You're going to disparage the Navy, huh? Go ahead.
Oh, sure. We're all for peace. Oh, we'd love to end the bloodshed. We'd love to end the war. Great. But if it means
I've always been crazy, keeps me from going insane.
The mainstream media, and we are going to spend time this evening together, or this afternoon, for all of our great West Coast listeners right now. We're going to spend quite a bit of time reflecting on the magnificent work that Marco Rubio did yesterday in fending off these.
There's a fly. You see it? Look at it.
Frankly, pointless.
A fly. A house fly. That's why they call them house flies, because they're in the house.
3811, peace at what cost? It appears as though we have moved closer to this point where it looks like a cessation of hostilities could very well be imminent. And what it means is Ukraine is going to have to walk away with less territory they had before the Russian tanks rolled in. Now, at one point over the weekend,
I'm going to make some coffee.
It would just be the Crimean Peninsula, the territory that Russia took during the Obama administration. And Obama shrugged, yawned, flicked a little lint off the shoulder of his Armani suit, and moved on. Did nothing. There were no screams of Obama being Putin's puppet. This despite the fact that he was overheard on a high mic telling the president of Russia before Putin took back command of the Kremlin that he would have more flexibility after his reelection. He says he'd have more flexibility after his reelection. So just give me a minute. He gets reelected, and the next thing you know, Russia's rolling into Crimea. Obama does nothing, and the media was silent. Gee, it certainly looks like Obama's kind of Putin's puppet here, right? For a while over the weekend, it looked as though that might be the totality of it. Now it appears that the discussions involve a little bit more territory that Russia did, in fact, hostilely take under Joe Biden. And the two questions that everybody seems to need to contemplate now, and then not that it's our decision to make, by the way. Donald Trump is asking as the mediator here. He's acting as the mediator. It's like shuttle diplomacy, except they're all coming to him. He doesn't have to bounce from table to table, room to room in some sort of, bizarre setup in Brussels. They're all coming to Trump. And on Friday, it was in Alaska where Putin comes to Trump. And today it was in D.C. when all of Europe came to Trump. And the conditions appear to be that Ukraine loses some of its territory, and the European countries, with the support of the United States, extend to Ukraine what is tantamount to NATO Article 5 protections. They're not going to let Ukraine into NATO. That's not happening. But they're drawing a line now, and they're saying if Russia attacks you again, we will come down with full force. Which is very odd to me that, this whole time, the rationale behind arming Ukraine and giving them everything they wanted to drag out this war, while at the same time, by the way, Europe was giving them barely anything and buying gas and oil from Russia, enriching them so that they can continue to fund their war effort, which that is now dried up. And it's part of the reason why you saw Putin hat in hand in Alaska on Friday. But it was always amazing to me that the rationale behind that effort, that we all know we have to help Ukraine. This is an existential threat. We've got to help Ukraine. We've got to give Ukraine everything that they want. No questions asked, blank check. As long as, what would Biden always say? As long as it takes. It doesn't matter. Just as long as it, what kind of strategy is that? As long as it takes. What if it takes 30 years? Really? The reason that they utilized that rhetoric and the rationale behind it was, well, Ukraine may not be part of NATO, but Poland is. And Putin won't stop at Ukraine, and the tanks will roll into Poland, and then what will we do? Then we'll have to fight. And my response to that always was, okay, then we'll fight. But what's the point of saying we have to fight him now, because if we don't fight him now, we're going to have to fight him later? It's like, well, all right, then fight him now. But of course, you're not fighting him now. You're throwing Ukrainians up there to fight him now. And it ain't going well. And it always seemed like a nonsensical argument. And so now this makes more sense to me. This is like, hey, yeah, we're not going to put Ukraine in NATO. But if you mess with Ukraine from this point forward, it's like you're messing with us. All right? And do you accept those terms? Nobody, by the way, is talking about American troops being engaged. But we are talking about European troops, which makes a lot more sense too, by the way. And, oh, by the way, those European troops and ranks and budgets for national defense have now been upped to 5% of their GDP relatively soon, because President Trump has compelled the NATO countries to actually contribute more to the protection of their own borders and their own nations, rather than relying on the United States of American military to do all that work for them. So you see how everything's converging here. And, oh, by the way, America is compelled to make this happen as a result of the tariff peace negotiations that took place a couple of weeks ago with the European Union. You see how all the dominoes seem to line up here. Do you wonder why Putin wanted to have a conversation with Donald Trump after Trump makes his tariff deal with the EU, after Trump compels all the European nations to up their GDP spending to 5% of GDP for their military spending, after Trump sends a B-2 stealth bomber halfway around the world in a surprise attack against the Iranian nuclear facilities, blowing up their bunker. You saw that scene, right? It's amazing to me. We're going to play the audio where they're all angry that Putin got a red carpet. Putin got a red carpet. So what do they care what the color of the carpet was? What do they care? Oh, the red carpet, that's symbolism. Putin won on symbolism. Putin won on optics. Oh, really? You know, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't paying attention to the red carpet for the optics. What I paid attention to was Putin came over to the red carpet. He got a very forceful bear handshake from that hulk of a president representing our country, towering over Putin. And as they started walking down that red carpet, I assure you, Putin didn't notice the color because he was flinching in terror as a B-2 stealth bomber with 4 fighter jets accompanying it soared overhead. Looked like it blew his hair around. He flinched at it like a screeching bald eagle up there in Alaska was about to come down and grab him by the short hairs and carry him away back to the nest for the little eaglets. I assure you, Putin didn't care what colored carpet he was on. In fact, when that B-2 bomber flew over, I think there may have been a little stain of yellow on the carpet as Putin was walking down it. And everyone in the world, including Vladimir Putin, knew exactly what the message was. Oh, yeah, you recognize that plane? Yeah, that we got a lot of those, Vlad. Yeah, you like it? I like it too. I asked him to fly it just now. Last time I asked him to fly that bird, it flew halfway around the world, found a secret hidden bunker that was safe and was protected and was never going to be damaged in a million years, and we blasted it to Kingdom Come. Hey, Vlad, I bet you think you've got a safe bunker up there in the Kremlin, don't you? Do you think you have a safe bunker in the Kremlin, Vlad? Oh, that's amusing. Yeah, anyway, come here. Let's stand for a photo op. And they were angry that he was smiling. They were angry that Trump was smiling. He should have looked stern at him. You know, Obama gave Putin a stern look. And then he looked the other way while Crimea was invaded. But they were angry that Trump was smiling. See, it's a funny thing about diplomacy. Up until now, you know, Joe Biden, feckless, weak, no leadership. He allows Putin to roll his tanks in. People forget this, by the way. 6 months into Biden's presidency, June of 2021. Do you see any news coverage of this, by the way? You would think that when Donald Trump had his little face-to-face with Vladimir Putin in Alaska, that the news packages that the cable and broadcast networks would put out would include, you know, the last time a president of the United States met face-to-face with Vladimir Putin, it was June of 2021 in Geneva, when then President Joe Biden met with Vladimir Putin. Why didn't you see many packages about that? I'll tell you why. Because 6 months after that meeting, Russian tanks were rolling across the border into Ukraine. Because it was an unmitigated disaster that resulted in the war. That was Joe Biden's presidency. And ever since that day, all you heard from Biden, all you heard from Democrats in this town, all you heard from some Republicans who really do get excited when there's a war going on, all you heard from the media, all you heard from the European nations was nothing but hyperbolic saber rattling. You heard, people used to make fun of George Bush for sounding like a cowboy. Yeah, I want Osama bin Laden dead or alive. Yeah, the difference was Osama bin Laden killed 3,000 Americans in a sneak terrorist attack that sent the World Trade Center down into ashes, and they attempted to go after the White House, and thousands of Americans were dead. Yeah, I want a little cowboy then. But instead, Biden tried to be the cowboy. Biden did the little snake eyes. Biden said, no, we're the total regime change. What were the conditions for the end of the war? Russia withdraw all territory, including Crimea, and regime change, Putin no longer president. That was never going to happen, and everybody knows it. And that's all you heard from all of those people. And now suddenly, you've got a different tone. And that is what diplomacy is. I don't like Putin. I think he's a thug. I think he's a criminal. I think he's an authoritarian dictator. But if you really want to have peace, guess what? That means sometimes you got to stand next to a thug and smile. And that's why today was so important. And I'll explain a little further in a minute. And I do want to hear from you. Are you okay with what you're hearing right now as this move, apparently, towards peace is solidified? 877-381-3811. I'm Larry O'Connor. It's the Mark Levin Show.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Eastbound on the freeway between the 14th Street Bridge and the 3rd Street Tunnel, and then traffic is jammed from the tunnel to 6th Street Navy Yard where there is a report of a crash. Also watch out for delays outbound on the Seward Parkway between the Anacostia Freeway and Branch Avenue. In Prince George's County, there is still crash activity on southbound 210 at Livingston Road and on Powder Mill Road at Evans Trail. And in Adelphi, there is an accident on Ridge Road at Sarnac Street. Earlier disabled on southbound 95 at 123 in Woodbridge, now clear, but traffic is still very slow from the Fairfax County Parkway. Now from GarageRanger.com, the WIAL Skin Watch and Forecast.
Tonight, overcast, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance for a few late morning showers, highs in the upper 70s.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little bit.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program is paving the way for a cure. Learn about symptoms, diagnosis, and breakthrough research at brightfocus.org or call us at 1-855-345-6237 for free resources. Hey, if this sounds very familiar, it's probably time for your shingle shot. Yep. If you're 50 or older, protect yourself from shingles, a painful rash that can last for weeks and even cause nerve damage. Shingrix vaccine is 97% effective, and it's available right now. See your preferred pharmacist or visit kinnydrugs.com to schedule today.
SweetDeals.com lets you spend less and have more. Save at least 50% on extraordinary restaurant, product, and entertainment deals. Plus, amazing vacation packages. Live large and save money while
I have ginger in this coffee, ground ginger.
Dennis Quaid here.
Not fresh ground, though.
Protecting your retirement.
Hard to keep that on hand.
The stability that comes with physical precious metals like gold.
Hard to keep a pantry when you're feeding just one person.
Makes it easy for people.
Hate wasting food.
This option, Goldco. Right now, they're offering a free gold and silver kit. You may qualify for some bonus silver and even a special Ronald Reagan silver coin. Give Goldco a call at 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
In times of fear, World Vision is there for the most vulnerable. Through natural disasters, war, and disease, delivering life-saving aid and helping to rebuild lives. Learn more at worldvision.org.
As a firefighter, my job is about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine. MDA empowers people like me to live the best lives we can. Learn more at mda.org today.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there is help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org. That's creditfairy.org. Brought to you by the Consumer Bankers Foundation, the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights Education Fund, and the Ad Council.
WMAL. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO, and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. The first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart is great for what's going on.
Making sense of the news.
Today, as we reflect on this story, I've got a lot of audio from the Oval Office and from this meeting with European leaders. I've got some audio of the president and Zelensky answering questions. And as I mentioned a little later, we're going to give a bit of a tribute to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. I do want you to hear Zelensky. Peter Doocy, Little Deuce, they like to call him over there at Fox News, asked Zelensky a very specific question. You don't get a specific answer, but the answer is telling. Ask if he was prepared to continue to fight or if he is willing to redraw maps. Take a listen to his answer.
We need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support, American and European partners. We will do our best for this. I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
All right. What he said, if you didn't hear through the accent, was he didn't say anything about the maps. He didn't say anything about territory, which I think was telling. See, Zelensky 6 months ago would have said, we won't budge an inch. We want all of our territory back. We're proud. And I understand that. By the way, I understand that. I would want my president to say that about my country if my country was invaded. He didn't say that, though. What he said was, we need to stop the war. We need to stop Russia. And I support the idea of President Trump to stop the war, which means he's on board with Trump's approach here. And he said we need to make diplomatic talks and trilateral talks. So that's a step in the right direction. Also a step in the right direction, he was wearing a suit. Oh, he looked like an Eastern European mobster, but he was wearing a suit. More on today's historic day in Washington and a move toward peace.
Folks, we've just been handed a warning, and we need to listen. A major U.S. bank just reported the U.S. dollar tumbled over 10% in the first half of 2025. Now, that's the worst drop since 1973. Here's what you should do now, in my opinion. Don't leave your savings exposed to threats of a collapsing dollar. Diversification. And with diversification, a safe haven is physical precious metals, real gold and silver you can hold. The best company I know in this space, Monetary Gold. They've been in business 25 years, weathering crises from 9/11 to the 2008 crash. They're reputable, they're reliable, and they're ready to help you. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Or visit marklovesgold.com. That's true. marklovesgold.com. Get your free gold guide. Call Monetary Gold, 877-NOW-GOLD, or go to marklovesgold.com. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. Performance may vary, and you should always consult your financial and tax professionals.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Breaking this hour, today's meeting with President Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and European leaders seems to have been a 180 of the confrontational meeting months ago.
It really was the best one, maybe the best one will be in the future.
President Trump says he called Russian President Vladimir Putin to arrange a face-to-face meeting between Putin and Zelensky ahead of a trilateral meeting.
I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
Meanwhile, the federal crackdown on crime in D.C. continues. The White House says about 40% of the more than 300 people arrested since President Trump's crackdown started are illegal immigrants. Mayor Muriel Bowser says the focus should be on violent crime.
If this is really about immigration enforcement, I think the administration should make that plain.
DHS says on X that federal agents are supporting the reestablishment of public safety in D.C., which includes taking criminal aliens off the streets. Up next, traffic and weather.
This week on Celeb News, the Hollywood blow-up you never saw coming.
It's DirecTV. They're shaking things up with flexible options that fit any kind of taste and budget. They only look like $1,000,000, baby. They got packs with live TV and streaming for one sexy low price. Slay! Wait, DirecTV is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit directtv.com today. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly, plus anytime. Credit card and restrictions apply.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Lanham on westbound 50, the John Hanson Highway, the off-ramp to the inner loop, that is blocked due to a jackknife tractor trailer and traffic is jammed from 704. Also, there is an accident on the freeway eastbound at 6th Street Navy Yard, causing delays from the 3rd Street Tunnel. And watch out for crash activity in Garrisonville on northbound 95 before Garrisonville Aquai in the left lane. The disabled southbound at 123 in Woodbridge moved to the right shoulder with traffic still very heavy from the Fairfax County Parkway. And in Bethesda, there is an accident northbound on the 270 spur at 270. The two left lanes are blocked. Traffic is jammed from the Beltway. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, overcast, lows in the upper 60s. Right now, 68 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMA.
Looking for a Super Duty without the super price tag? Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski wants to see you behind the wheel of the iconic Super Duty, and that's why they're doing $7,000 off MSRP. Check out Bob Johnson Ford's massive selection of Super Duties in stock and bring one home with a massive $7,000 discount. Don't miss this incredible deal going on now at Bob Johnson Ford at 84 Caprera Drive or BobJohnsonFord.com. See store for details. At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Blowing out your birthday candles should be easy, but if you have undiagnosed COPD, you may find yourself short of breath. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years to your life. If you have symptoms like wheezing or chronic cough, talk to your doctor and visit COPD.
Hey, Rusty, if you don't have my phone number, now's a good time to come up and I'll post it in the private chat so you can get it. And you can have it. I won't give your information out. I don't call people. They post whatever. Change is a fact of life. I'm sick of him. That motherfucker wants to fight, wants to call me fucking names and shit and all. He wants to fucking play that game. Wigan, you can thank yourself because Rusty wants to use my chat. I'll let her use my chat. It's good comedy. She doesn't really need it. There is an advantage if you're in these chats and you're talking with someone privately. That's what they've been doing all along. See, I've been at a disadvantage this whole time. Who might this be? Hey, I just put time on this month too, you know. All right. So do you know the landline? Because I only did because I had to verify my account tonight. You know, they got to send you a text message to do it. I can't get it on my landline. So hold on right there. Let me mute myself.
ways at them. Your grandkids, right? They're saying, what
Cheers.
Are you starting to dive into the Marxist swimming pool there? Because the water's dirty and it's shallow. If you've got a teenager or young adult in your life and you're concerned that they're not getting a
Careful what you ask for, Wiggin.
copy of Mark Levin's book, really you should get them a copy of all of Mark Levin's books. But On Power is a great...
And your little girlfriend, too.
About everything going on in our country today.
That fucking thing.
Please. All right, let's start with Peter in Hillsborough. I got more on...
Yeah, I didn't say much about her lip of that, but I'm the one that brought it to light because she'd get on, she'd turn her camera on. She'd sit there like this and talk all the time. I found it a little fucking... You know what I mean? I'm good at reading body language. That's why JC won't turn her camera on. Fucking ugly bitch. They want to fuck everybody else to do it. Randy begs people to turn the camera on because that's what he does. I mean, he needs other people to make his little fucking artwork with.
Doing the right thing, but we will eventually succeed.
And he doesn't do it because somebody's attacking him. He's the one attacking. He's doing the attacking.
What I'm more concerned about.
Remember the fighting, Angie, with him? And they first got the picture of my mother, and that fucking went on for months and months and months, huh? Not one word from you, but somebody say something about you being a deadbeat mother, you fucking crying racism. My haters. And then there's Shannon Morrow.
And there's my point. So thank you.
Well, listen, let me engage with you on it, Peter. You know the bench. You know who's waiting in the wings. I mean, obviously, J.D. Vance is the vice president. He's a massive...
Wiggin tried to say I'm scared of her.
And he's the person that Donald Trump personally chose to step in for him if, God forbid, he can't finish up that Q&A.
Well, if she has chlamydia, I'd be scared of her. I can tell you that right now. I wouldn't want to touch it. Last thing I want is blue balls. Blue balls come from having venereal disease and not have it treated. That's where blue balls come from. Anybody who's been to basic training, you learn about personal hygiene, and they show them films. This is what blue balls, this is what venereal disease looks like, untreated.
Yeah.
It leaves an indelible mark on a fucking man's brain. So when you're overseas in Europe and you see a good-looking girl, you never know. Fuck it. Might not smell it, but it definitely is there.
No, I hear you, Peter. Listen, I hear you, and I appreciate your honesty.
Be taking it home to the old lady.
Show like Mark Levin's, and they act like know-it-alls, and you're actually like, yeah, I'm not sure. I get that. I really do, and I appreciate the call. Thank you, Peter, in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Let me just...
Wiggin calling Gotti a pedophile for the last, 2-3 years?
You know, I understand the whole... It's a uniform...
All because of a joke?
You're right. There's
a wheelchair joke?
Republicans that I trust less than I trust certain Democrats. But let me just say, based on the national names that I'm hearing right now as potential nominees for president for the Democrats, any Republican is better than a Gavin Newsom or a Tim Walz or a Pete Buttigieg or a Wes Moore or a Gretchen Whitmer or, God forbid, a Kamala Harris.
I like this guy. He's on. I think he does a show at 3:00. I'm not sure. It's either he comes on at noon.
The fact that Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance and other members, I don't mean to. I mean, I think Sean Duffy's doing a great job. I think this is a stacked cabinet right now, and the fact that Donald Trump personally handpicked each and every one of them to fill the role that they're filling right now should lend us some credibility for those cabinet members and officials within this.
That was fun.
There's another thing though that I want to point out. You know, it's a funny thing about leadership. You just heard Peter say, you know, a lot of people walk the walk. Excuse me. A lot of people.
I don't actually have to be anybody's friend.
Show up. I've seen that a lot in my life.
But it helps if you're friendly.
A lot. How many Republicans have run for office promising to shut down?
I didn't come here to be unfriendly. I come here to be friendly.
Into office and nothing happens.
And, you know, try to get people together with like minds. But Wiggin has a problem with that. That's not what he wants. Wiggin wants to be able to insult you at will, and you're supposed to take it.
NPR, and that's crazy. And there's no reason
that's pretty much the gist of it.
Anyway, we can't afford it, and their propagandas. No, I'm done with them. We're going to defund them. And then they never do it. Right? How many times do they run for office saying they're going to do that? Oh, I hate abortion. I hate abortion. Abortion is evil. I'm going to dominate.
I'm not close to making a martini. I'm not. I'm fucking.
I was just thinking about this the other day because I always point that out. It's like, George H.W. Bush gave us.
If I get drunk, I might say something inappropriate.
Soul, George Bush
may look like I'm a pervert.
He did. I always use that as sort of.
Wiggins mad because I look at a young person and I think to myself, geez, I wish I were 15. He thinks that in his mind, I'm thinking that I want to get into that girl. When he does it, that's what he does. He's always talking about men getting sex and shit. You ain't got no girlfriend. Who the fuck is the pervert out here? Wiggin. Right? You brag about having 13, 15 kids or whatever, right? You're a foster dad or whatever, right? So some other man's kid is a police officer, so and some other is not really your kid just because you boinked his mother.
Nominating Clarence Thomas and then standing by
wow.
Thomas when the going got tough. Because think of what
sometimes parents, they have the opposite effect on your children. And when the parent is a dirtbag and that child becomes an adult, they decide, I don't want to be like my parents.
So but the point is made. We've heard these promises. We always hear these, there are still people in this town, the Jonah Goldberg types and the Bill Kristol types. Trump isn't even a conservative. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about these issues. He doesn't care about these.
I'm sick of it.
He's just got an ego.
It's called slander.
And
he's doing it in YouTube and he's deleting his streams. That's libel.
So what? Who would you?
You're libeling me, Wiggin.
Solid, perfect, doctrinaire, to the letter conservative who can't get anything done.
My younger day, I just come visit you. You got to come out of that fucking house sometime.
Narcissist. He's just an egomaniac, but he just says what you want to hear.
So you're just a drug dealer. How much cocaine have you sold in your life, Wiggin? Huh? I bet you sold a lot of cocaine. You made a lot. You made a little bit of money, didn't you? Huh? Easy to do that when the state's taking care of the daughter that otherwise you wouldn't be able to take care of. The mother's a fucking dirtbag. Can't take care of her daughter. I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? No, I feel sorry for the daughter. It's too bad that person doesn't know what a dirtbag her dad really is. I'll say it again.
Is actually a transactional business. They always say it's the second oldest profession, but it has a lot in common with
JC watched to make a joke that I punched my mother in the mouth. That's why she's got a fat lip.
They get something out of it. You get something out of it.
Still no apology.
And listen,
I want one.
The guy is a saint and a Boy Scout, and you can tell your kids to look up to him and admire him and everything about him and everything he says and
I bet.
Tweets and everything.
He fed her drugs and then blames her. Sure he does. He doesn't take responsibility for his shit. He's just like JC. That's why they get along so well. That's why JC, I'm forgiving. Oh, mad now, but give it 5 minutes. I won't be mad no more. Oh, I didn't do nothing.
And one other quick thing I'll say about the Republican bench, and then we'll get to more today.
She lied again. Now she told her chat that she was 18 when she got married. She didn't need her dad's permission because she's mad because I keep saying it. But she's still saying he was 42. Still, let's say you were 18, JC. Why at the age of 18 would you choose to marry a 42-year-old man?
Are you kidding me?
Really?
Right, compared to the other side. And you never really know until they're given that job. You never really know how they're going to fill that space, how they're going to rise to the occasion. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was very skeptical of Marco Rubio becoming the Secretary of State. I was hopeful. And ultimately, I said, well, listen, Trump knows the measure of the man. He's worked with him.
She vouched for fucking Fire. He's a Canadian.
If Trump thinks
says he's Hispanic Canadian.
Let's see what happens. And am I the only one who's been absolutely shocked and delighted that Rubio has risen to this job, has risen to the occasion, and
there you go, Alpesh. If you're watching right now, Google Earth, there's Omar walking with his son. Oh, by the way, Omar, the black guy that lives across the street from me, his wife is white and she has red hair. She's a redhead.
We're not even a year since the last presidential election. But if that's what some of you are concerned about,
Actually, the name Omar is more Persian than it is anything else.
In Florida, and he was fine.
And then you got Prussian, which are Polacks, Russians, and Germans, the Huns.
I think he filled out that space very well. Can he move on to the next step? Maybe. I don't know. But you don't know until they're in that role.
They love to use the image of pigs, don't they?
Vance and Rubio and Duffy at transportation. Kennedy at HHS. Besson. What about
It's like you're fucked, Wiggin.
We didn't know anything about that guy, right? The business world did. Did you think he would fill this role as well as he did? By the way, one of the reasons why all these guys are doing so well. And
Patrick, you see what I did in JC's chat, right? It's been a long time since I did that. I used to do that to her all fuck. She has no fucking idea. She's so fucking lost.
Leadership. They're given guidance. They're given direction. They're given a mandate. They're told.
Hey, JC, why don't you just get it over with? Meet me in Ogdensburg, and we'll go to Aqua. I tell you what, JC, you got a car, right? Come here first. Pick me up. I'll ride with you. That way, if you want to leave me stranded somewhere, you'll have an opportunity to do it.
And you just keep your eye on President Trump. One thing you know, when you're a CEO, and
I won't kiss and tell, JC.
You're successful because you find the right people and you bring them along. Sometimes even you bring along the person who's going to.
My sister JC wants to meet you.
So
Jill and JC want to meet you. They're not happy that you doxed their mother too. My sister Jill would tie you in fucking knots, JC. JC, my sister would tie you in knots too. They both would. You wouldn't stand a chance, bitch. Trust me. It's the Hayden in them. It's true. My sister JC controls her husband. That's a fact. Gary's fucking pussy whip motherfucker. I don't think I don't say that to his face. Because I do. Oh, JC, I got her to be candid a few times. And she was off in a ditch and needed help, and it was me. It was a choice of me or the other. She knows that I would do good by her. She'd want me to help her out. Wiggin, I shaved my beard off. Does it look like I'm fat? Shouldn't my chin be hanging a little bit more? Oh, poor Mike Harrison was mad when I went into JC's chat today with the coffee woman picture of Siberian Gal Pal. Fuck you. Gal Pal attacked me. And the last time she did it, I had a Donald Trump account. She jumped all over that. Something snotty to say, just,
Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome.
Did you have a stroke? Why are you stuttering? No, I'm talking like that because I'm making fun of you dumb fuckers. You ever hear Randy talk? He's fucking trying to make up a story about something, or what if?
And that's why they're doing $7,000 off MSRP. Check out Bob Johnson.
Hey, she went to see Darren Whitney. And then she claimed that her daughter talked her out of it because he's such a dirtbag. Beats up on women or whatever. Didn't he have another woman there? Didn't they fucking fight over that? I spent a lot of time up on JC's panel when Darren Whitney was up there. That's a fact. Let's replay him, JC. Find a few clips of me up there with Darren.
with disabilities who desperately needs a break? Hi, this is Brenda Solomon, wife of Lon Solomon, pastor of McLean Bible Church. Our daughter Jill is...
I don't know what they're doing on this one here. I go to my dashboard to see who's banned. It's fucking weird.
At Jill's house, we'll be providing...
I can put banned words in there. I don't know if they moved it. It's in settings. You got to go to settings to get there.
Check out our website, jillshouse.org.
I stopped Patrick Rowe from making posts on my shows. You're an idiot, Patrick. Fucking yellow toe fungus. He was up there crying to JC about it.
Plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Let's talk about America. Not taxes or tweets or the issues that divide us, but how incredible our country is. Whether you come home to a...
Wow, Yee skirt over in JC's chat calling me a touch hole. Isn't that something? Uh-huh.
We are Keep America Beautiful.
Yee skirt, why are you over in JC's chat calling me a touch hole? You fucking... Wait, you trying to get in on the cooking gig or what? Did you want to be my sous chef or something? Huh? Is there a place on the cooking line for you, Yee skirt? Did you want a wrench? Yee skirt, do you want a wrench? I can give you a wrench, Yee skirt. There's no problem with it. Then she said she was divorced. And then when Rain came on the scene, she waited a while. She tried to blew smoke up Rain's ass saying she was a widow. I'm a widow.
All of us are natural.
Fucking idiot.
This establishes the possibility, not the guarantee, that we can have a good life. This is true.
Yeah, great. He's 20. He's 23, 24 years older than her. So she's in her 50s by now, and he's cheating on her. But he has kidney disease.
Making sense of your world.
I don't think she ever owned a condo in Florida. I think she might have went there to visit, but she never owned any property in Florida. Takes a lot to buy property. You got to go through a lot to fucking buy property. Takes 3 months to close and the whole fucking 9 yards. You're full of shit, JC. JC, whatever happened to your business you opened last year, but this time when I was just live, I went live. I thought it was April, May, somewhere around there, but they're saying the renewal for my StreamYard was in July. Fucking weird.
I'm optimistic that collectively we can reach an agreement.
Yeah, assisted living. It's a fucking hospital. It's old folks' home, nursing home. Just put them in a nursing home.
Largely overrated, but we're going to find out. And I think that the European nations are going to take a lot of the burden. We're going to help them, and we're going to make it very secure. We also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact. That means the war zone, the war lines that are pretty obvious, very sad, actually, to look at them. And negotiating positions. President Putin, also, you have President of Ukraine, who is... you just met a little while ago, and we're going to try and get a three-party meeting, maybe as soon as we can.
Yeah, moving toward a trilateral.
Hey, she was fighting about it on the phone on her panel.
Zelensky, Putin, and Trump, the three of them working.
The dad giving the daughter something, and she didn't like it.
But he's also clear-eyed about it, and he's clear-eyed with who he's talking.
She got her 50%. She would brag.
Last segment having to do specifically with Putin on Friday. We're going to talk about that scene and what the media did to try to distort it. The red carpet. Hey,
JC, freedom of speech means us YouTubers, when we go live, if I want to talk about any streamer, I can talk about any streamer I want. I see Alex was up on Sykes chat this morning. I peeked in there for a while when I was up. That was fucking over 12 hours ago.
Since November of 22. The territory gained by Russia.
I didn't post anything. I just watched.
there's been no movement. This has been a stalemate since November of 22, just a few months into this thing.
I almost went to go up on his panel.
Because the rhetoric from the Europeans, led on by Joe Biden, with the sable red, was like, but Putin's Hitler, Putin's Hitler. You know, people
$25 to get someone fucking kicked off the panel.
You know, when a Russian leader is called Hitler, they take that kind of seriously. They don't like it.
I could probably bring you a lot of money, psych. You let me up there for about 4 hours. See how many people will fucking send you money. I don't give a fuck if you kick me. I'm game.
Trump took a different approach. It's known as diplomacy. You need to be able to be the guy who can go and stand on the tarmac with Putin.
Gotti, you owe me a favor, you fucker. You better show up.
And then 3 days later, have a meeting in the White House with all of your.
I'm not going to be nice to you.
And be effective in both communities.
I don't care if you're God or not. You're just another fucking human. We're in his image. He's human then, period. He's just immaculate is all. God ever shows we won't even, the light will be so bright you won't be able to see anything. Dialysis is, I mean, how long does a person stay alive on dialysis? It's not a comfortable procedure to go through. Every time you have dialysis, 3, sometimes 4 times a week, it's like a 3-4 hour deal. You sit there, they filter your blood. All I could think of is filtering the fucking deep fat fryer for a donut fryer. The fucking things are huge. Like settlement builds up in your blood. Yeah, she does that with the mirror, but she won't actually. Hey, JC, why don't you come on up and go backstage with me and turn your camera on? I won't tell nobody. Let me decide for myself. I'll tell you what, I'll make it easy for you, JC. I won't even say anything about what you look like. I'll keep it to myself. I won't insult you or anything. And if you are pretty, I won't even say you're pretty. I won't say nothing. You can show me your tits, everything. Let's see what you look like, JC. I'm such a perv. I know she's an older lady, and fucking gravity definitely has taken over. She's got them big saggy arms like Tammy, and she's got fucking 2 big clams like Tammy. Starting to show my age, Wiggin. Now, Patrick Rowe is banned from making comments on my past broadcasts. Oh, there's Sebastian. Does anybody have any money they want to give Sebastian? I think he's looking.
That makes sense. You know what doesn't make sense? Adding, but I think it is kind of makes the point that this is not about DC crime.
The National Guard, DC National Guard, says troops may be armed consistent with their mission and training. A source tells the Associated Press that DC leaders were notified the Guard may be armed. When asked,
I wouldn't doubt she is older than me.
That is not what I have been advised.
Meanwhile, the president says his crackdown on crime's working. A friend told him.
Washington, D.C.
She wasn't happy I fucking went in with a picture of Siberian Gelpel. That was me, JC. That was fun. That's what she gets for coming at me.
It's a little hard to get our heads around the data this early, but I can assure you that it is working.
D.C. Union Police Chair Greg Pemberton telling WMAO's O'Connor and Company, while Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen tells ABC's This Week.
This is all an opportunity for Donald
Hey, Paul Shepard, tell me something I don't know. Will you? You got something new to tell us, Paul Shepard? Mary Bernie's trying to talk like she's a chef or something, asking people, ever tried this? I look up the recipe, Google it. Does she know you can't patent a recipe? I heard, Stray Cat or somebody, get a Betty Crocker cookbook. Yeah, Betty Crocker cookbook will tell you how to make cream puffs, the dough for cream puffs. It'll tell you how to make hollandaise sauce. That's how you learn to cook. You read the recipe.
If there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term.
But President Trump adds,
we also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact.
European leaders are pushing for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine. Derek Halpern, Fox News.
An Arlington man's being held without bond, accused of killing his mother.
I wish I were 18. Wish I were 15. Sorry.
Who was known to her friends as Renee. She had been shot and she died at the hospital. Police did not need long to identify a suspect. They say the victim's 27-year-old son, Logan Chrissinger, shot his mother and remained at the scene when police arrived.
I think JC's into big women. That's what I think. I think she's a lesbian because she's a feminist. JC is a feminist. She has subscribed to feminism. That's a fact.
Last Friday, Montgomery County Police were called to a home on Muncaster Road for a report of a missing woman.
You can't watch CNN and not become one. It's impossible.
60-year-old Daniel Shea told officers he hadn't seen his mother in 4
days. Wolf Blitzer.
She was. An investigation turned up Victoria's body around
Don Lemon.
Rink Road. Police then searched the home she shared with her son.
And then there's the other ones over there.
Wayne Embry, and found enough evidence to charge Daniel with first-degree murder and Embry with
it's that fucking Indian guy, Fareed Sakari. We call him Fried Zucchini. Fareed Sakari or whatever his fucking name is.
It's coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment for the side of.
No, she's become a feminist.
App, streaming live on August
she hates men.
Fox 1. At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need.
Yeah, but deep down, you're really not.
That's right. Just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited.
People change their minds. Even you, Rusty.
The savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today.
And that's good. You're very lucky to have your parents. Very, very fortunate. Bless you for that. I hate divorce. Two people, when they get together, whether they get married or not, they have a child together. You know, that's it. That should be it right there. No, you're not a full-blown feminist. I know you're not. No. JC is, though. She can't handle a macho man. Not that I'm macho, all right? But, macho is, means man. Machismo, as fucking, what's his name would say. Razor Ramon. He'd flick that fucking toothpick at you. Yes, you are a free thinker. That is true. Wiggins not only a feminist, he's a woman too. That's really a woman. He's a whiner. Yeah, fucker whines and fucking somebody winds him up and he fucking whines and whines and whines. I still have a little bit of cake left. Fucking Tammy was crying about my cake I made. I should sit here and eat it.
From the bowels of a bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with a real man, Levin.
It's Larry O'Connor sitting in for Mark Levin and the morning radio host on WMAL in Washington, D.C. from 5 to 9 every morning. That's right. I've been up since about 4 a.m. Eastern time.
$100 doesn't go very far these days.
It's the life I've chosen, but it's good stuff. I enjoy doing the morning show in Washington, D.C., of course, especially on days like this when all eyes of the planet are on us and something extraordinary is happening. Did you see the image of these world leaders all rolling up one limo at a time in front of the White House? Zelensky gets out wearing his black mobster Eastern European call me Boris suit. It is a suit, though. I got to give him that. It wasn't a T-shirt. And, of course, Trump towers over this guy. He's like, he almost looks twice his height sometimes. And he shakes his hand and he goes, oh, look at you. He said, look at you with a suit. Look at you. Look at a collar and everything. Did you put on a collar? Good for you. It wasn't quite that infantilizing, but it was pretty close. It was brilliant. And I have to say, Volodymyr was on his best behavior. You know, Trump is not happy with either of these guys, which brings me back to the point I was making in the last hour. And if you missed it, too bad. But one of the points I was making is...
Hey, Patrick, Paul Shepard, go look at the banner JC has on her chat. Read her banner.
But Kissinger is a great example. You got to talk to the bad guys if you want to be. It's like it's great to talk about being a diplomat. Oh, Joe Biden was such a national security expert. He was so great at foreign affairs. He was wrong about everything all the time. And when he was president, he put himself in a position where he was like playing president. You know, he was acting more like Hunter Biden than Joe Biden half of the time. And it was always this squinty-eyed, Putin's a thug. Putin's authoritarian. He's a totalitarian. And if you could hear him through his slurred words, it's like, this kind of aggression will not stand. And listen, if they did it to our country, I would understand that. And I would take the same stance, right? But if the world really is looking at the United States to be some sort of, a trilateral sort of impartial or, yes, we have a vested interest, but we have a main focus on ending this conflict and bringing about peace. If we're really supposed to take that role, and how in the hell do you spend your entire time calling one guy, Vladimir Zelensky, the freaking combination of Winston Churchill and Mother Teresa, when everybody knows he's not? And we went, this war is our war.
I got something Mary Burney would like.
Should we give? We will fight this as long as it takes to put down this aggression. And we must have regime change in Moscow. And it's like all of this screaming. If you're Vladimir Putin, why in the hell are you picking up the phone when Biden calls? Or if Antony Blinken calls, or Jake Sullivan, or whoever the hell was working with Biden? Even if they tried to make the phone call, it wasn't going to happen. It was like, oh, Trump's cozying up to Putin. Cozying up to Putin. He stood on a red carpet and smiled with him and shook his hands. And everyone talked about how Putin was playing to Trump's ego. To hell with that. Trump was playing to Putin's ego. Everyone's like, oh, Trump gave Putin so much. I don't disagree. Trump did give Putin something that he wanted.
Bought the whole fucking box.
What did he give?
I should have bought the other one.
He gave him
both boxes. Right? Just think of the dessert you can make out of this motherfucker. Huh?
Some people were saying, you should arrest him. He's a war criminal.
Who likes Zagnut? Do you like a Zagnut bar? Anybody want a Zagnut bar?
So he fly to a military base, just 100 miles from his border in Russia. By the way, everyone owes Sarah Palin a big apology. Did you see the media people over the weekend saying, by the way, if you didn't know, Alaska is right next door to Russia. They're very close. They can actually see the landmass from certain parts of Alaska. And I'm screaming back at the television, you made fun of Sarah Palin when she said that. So what did he give Putin? He cracked the door open an inch for Putin to save face. And somehow, it was not that long ago when Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were acting like Putin was, their best friend. Right? Remember? Putin liked that. Putin likes to be on the world stage. Putin wants to go to the G8 summits or the G10 summits or whatever the hell they want. He likes to pretend that he's, running a real country there, even though, and kind of an oligarchy with a handful of very rich, corrupt businessmen, pretty much in arms dealing, gas and oil. And Trump, over the last 7 months, has shut off the spigot. He has reoriented the world's sights to America and the Middle East as the leading supplier of gas and oil. He's convinced the EU to stop buying gas and oil from Russia, all the while Europe is screaming at us that we need to be spending more money on Ukraine's war effort, while they were handing money, hand over fist, to Vladimir Putin in exchange for oil and gas funding his war effort. So it was incumbent on us to spend our tax dollars to build up Ukraine's military to fight against Russia's military that Europe was financing through their purchases of gas and oil. Someone make sense of that to me. And yet, yes, Biden's a genius in foreign policy because that's the scheme he engineered and didn't say boo about. So for 3 years, Biden and the American diplomatic team and Europe are all making Zelensky out to be Mother Teresa, Winston Churchill, and George Clooney combined. And meanwhile, Putin's Hitler. Putin's Hitler. The funny thing, American Republicans were used to being called Hitler, but you call a Russian leader Hitler, they take it personally. They think that that's an insult. So Putin gets angry and angry. He doesn't want to play ball. He doesn't want to do a damn thing. Trump gets in there, shuts off the spigot for cash for his gas and oil. We start drilling gas and oil. We start bringing the price of gas and oil globally down. We made better deals in the Middle East. Remember, Trump's first major visit was to the Middle East, striking deal after deal after deal. We get foreign investments coming to this country. He makes a trade deal with the EU after threatening the tariffs. And suddenly we're playing ball with EU and they're buying gas and oil from us. And they're also doing more financial arrangements with us. Russia's isolated. Russia's secluded. Russia's done. And then Trump starts threatening more and more and more draconian sanctions against Russia to squeeze them even more. And then when Russia makes an overture to Rubio or to
I
Trump,
probably ate 6 of them. There's probably a dozen in there.
and Witkoff comes back and says, Putin would like to meet with you. And Trump says, well,
I
what
bought
does he
him
want?
last
He says
week.
He wants the photo op. He doesn't want to be treated like Hitler.
Wednesday,
He
I
doesn't
think.
want to be treated like a monster or a pariah. And Trump's like, well, I don't trust him. I don't like him. And it's like, you don't have to. Go and have a meeting. And then 3 days later, he has a meeting with all these European leaders. Putin in Alaska says none of this would be happening if it weren't for Trump. And he said some other things that I'll get to later. And then today, all the European leaders say, yeah, that none of this would have happened without Trump. And now suddenly they're talking about trilateral meetings. And all these people who were criticizing Trump for standing next to Putin and smiling and shaking his hand on a red carpet when nothing tangible actually was given to Putin. And it never occurred to any of them that this is what diplomacy looks like. Diplomacy, forgive me, means sometimes you have to stand next to a monster if you want to get something done. And that's what he did. And you tell me what world leader would be able to have a happy handshake and photo op with Putin on a Friday and then have all of Western Europe come to your house in D.C. on Monday and praise you for your efforts in bringing about peace? You tell me what world leader can do that today? Is there anyone on the planet? Could Biden do it? I got one for you. Could Obama have done it? Thank you. And we know Hillary and Kamala couldn't have done it. And so now we're on the brink of this thing. And again, I don't pretend to know everything that's happening. And as you watch cable news tonight, and you start hearing experts predicting what's going to happen and tell you how this is going to play out, they're lying. They don't know. They're as confident as to how this is going to end up as they were that Hillary Clinton was going to win in 2016 and that Tim Walz was going to make a great vice president. That's how accurate they are. They have no idea. They have no idea. But cable news will keep putting them out there as the experts. They'll keep putting, oh, what do you think is going to happen? If the media could just spend a little bit of time telling us what just happened and why it's important and analyzing the reality of what happened today instead of predicting and projecting and anticipating and lying.
I had a few more pecans left, and I went to open them, and I lost grip on the fucking, what little bit was in the package went all over the fucking floor. The squirrels, they like them. They like pecans, and they like the walnuts too. Especially the chipmunk. I was going to eat them on some ice cream, and I fucking spilled them on the floor. So I didn't eat them. Wasn't that many left. But fucking 12 ounces of fucking shelled nuts, $10. So over $10 for a pound of shelled nuts. It's not easy cracking nuts. If you're Wiggin, all you do is lick nuts. He's a nut licker. Aren't you, Wiggin? Come lick my Zag nut. Zag on my nuts, Wiggin.
Able to reach a deal with President Putin that he would stick to it. Based on what you just said, he's a liar.
Well, that's the point. That's why the deal has to have enforceable mechanisms in it. That's why the deal has to have things like security guarantees. That's the point I was making a few minutes ago when you were asking me about looking someone in the eye. What's important here is actions, not words, not paper, document. Those are all important. Those are elements of a deal, but they have to be enforceable. They have to be verifiable. They have to be enduring. There's no point here in signing a deal that's going to be violated in 3 or 4 months. There's no point in doing that. It actually would make things worse. So that's why this is such a difficult thing. Not only do you need a deal that's verifiable, that's enforceable, and that's enduring. If you don't achieve that, then I think you can have a ceasefire for a few months, a few weeks, and then the war will start again and more people will die. That's not the outcome we're interested in. That's not the outcome we're interested in. So that's why this is so difficult.
All right. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, thank you so much for...
Marco Rubio, you can't blame a girl for trying, but I just face planted on that gotcha moment. That's Kristen Booker. It got even worse when it turned to CBS with Margaret Brennan and Martha Raddatz. We'll play that for you coming up in just a second. In the meantime, my name's Larry O'Connor, and this is The Mark Levin Show.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox 1 is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about this human spaceflight program. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox
I can tell you, having spent 40 years plus as a federal prosecutor, they were particularly sobering to me.
That
was the first time we're seeing this classified, declassified, now annexed. It's 29 pages. It discusses more allegations and information about the Clinton campaign's alleged efforts to discredit candidate Trump. Durham obtained emails via Russian intelligence, and the emails were allegedly written by a man named Leonard with the Open Society Foundation. That's the foundation tied to George Soros. According to the annex, Leonard writes about a...
This week on Celeb News, the Hollywood glow-up you never saw coming. It's DirecTV. They're shaking things up with flexible options that fit any kind of taste and budget. They only look like $1 million, baby. They got packs with live TV and streaming for one sexy low price. Slay! Wait, DirecTV is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Credit card and restrictions apply.
Clinton for years and years. This was after they had taken Georgia. People forget about that. They took Georgia. Putin took Georgia during the final months of the Bush administration when he was at his weakest point during the election, right before Obama took over. But they forgave that immediately. They didn't treat him like a pariah. No, Hillary Clinton went over there with a reset button. They yucked it up, and everything was fine and everything was gorgeous. Now he needs to be treated like Hitler. Trump comes in and says, I'm going to try to make peace. And he decided that one of the ways to make peace is to give Putin his photo op on Friday in Alaska and then hold his feet to the fire and then send a B-2 bomber over his head, by the way, while he did it. And Martha Raddatz on this week on ABC, very upset about the color of the carpet.
Critics of President Trump will say the pomp and circumstance, the red carpet, the warm handshake, that President Trump simply lost that Putin gained there just by being on the world stage and walking down a red carpet with the president. Your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, critics of President Trump are always going to find something to criticize. You don't even pay attention to it anymore. But I will tell you this, Putin is already on the world stage. He's already on the world stage. The guy's conducting a full-scale war in Ukraine. He's already on the world stage. He has the world's largest tactical nuclear arsenal in the world and the second largest strategic nuclear arsenal in the world. He's already on the world stage. When I hear people say that, oh, it elevates him. Well, all we do is talk about Putin all the time. All the media's done is talk about Putin all the time for the last 4 or 5 years. That doesn't mean he's right about the war. That doesn't mean he's justified about the war. Put all that aside. It means you're not going to have a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. You're not going to end a war between Russia and Ukraine without dealing with Putin. That's just common sense. I shouldn't even have to say it. So people can say whatever they want. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to get the Russian side to agree to things that they don't want to agree to if we're going to have peace. If not, there'll just be a war. They'll keep killing each other, and life will go on in America and in the rest of the world, but not for Ukraine. So the president has invested a lot of time in trying to bring an end to this war. He deserves credit for doing that. He gets criticism for doing that. He could have just let this war go on. The president could have just said, this is Biden's war. It started under him. We'll do what we can for Ukraine, but we're going to focus on other things. He could have easily said that. But he's the only leader in the world that could get Putin to a meeting to talk about serious things.
That's right. Did you hear that last part? Because Martha Raddatz was trying to talk over him. He's the only leader in the world that got Putin to a meeting to talk about serious things. Period. And if people really come, I know that people are throwing around Nobel Peace Prize. I couldn't care less about the Nobel Peace Prize. Ever since they gave it to Yasser Arafat, a murderous thug terrorist, and then they gave it to Al Gore, a corrupt buffoon, it means nothing. The Nobel, and then they gave it to Barack Obama for literally doing nothing. Just for being
some guy in Europe nominated Trump for the Nobel Prize.
The experts in this world, personified by
just recently,
really have no idea what goes into ending a war and bringing peace. And yet somehow in society we have elevated these people up to this high platform because they're capable of reading a teleprompter. And we are supposed to care what they think. Good for you, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. But I do want to talk about this whole idea of elevating Putin. Who's elevated Putin? Trump's elevating Putin. Trump's empowering Putin. You know who's empowered Putin? You know who's elevated Putin to a level higher than he could have even ever dreamed? You know who has empowered Vladimir Putin over the last 10 years beyond his wildest imaginations? I will tell you exactly and how, coming up in a moment. I'll give you a hint. Spoiler alert. Collusion.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
You know, Americans love using their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Parkway northbound at Greenbelt. Traffic is slow from the Beltway to Powder Mill Road. On the southbound side of the BW Parkway, just up the stop and go from 32 to Powder Mill Road. On the Beltway in Montgomery County, inner loop is jammed up between Old Georgetown Road and the Mormon Temple. Also on the inner loop of the Beltway in Silver Spring, you're going to find it slow between New Hampshire Avenue and the 202 Service Road in Prince George's County. And on the outer loop of the Beltway in Prince George's County, traffic is slow in Camp Springs between Branch Avenue and Richie Marlborough Road. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, overcast, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance for a few late morning showers, highs in the upper 70s.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
This week on Select News, a new power couple emerges. Live TV and streaming apps are tying the knot with DirecTV's My Entertainment Genre Pack. 50 plus live channels together with Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max, all for one low price. And that's just one of DirecTV's amazing new genre packs. Save some power for the other couples, you guys. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Apps vary by pack. Prices may vary for third parties. Credit card and restrictions apply. 18 plus. See details at directtv.com/genre packs.
Looking for a Super Duty without the super price tag? Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski wants to see you behind the wheel of the iconic Super Duty, and that's why they're doing $7,000 off MSRP. Check out Bob Johnson Ford's massive selection of Super Duties in stock and bring one home with a massive $7,000 discount. Don't miss this incredible deal going on now at Bob Johnson Ford at 84 Caprera Drive or BobJohnsonFord.com. See store for details.
YouTube personality Betty Johnson has cracked the code on a new era of newsmaking.
Very controversial, very strong opinions. A person who speaks truth fearlessly, breaking for nobody.
It's a new cultural landscape.
We're not trying to politicize this. People are primed now, and forgive me, dude, it is what it is. Here's what's going on in your country, bro.
The Benny Show.
Get ready. If this is something that you needed to put a little pep in your step. No? Yeah? Okay.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision.
Hey, Tony, tell Alpesh Patel that Nate was here a little while ago. But I wasn't live. I went off air. He came over about 2:30 my time. He's here probably a half hour. You know, Tony, I was okay with Alpesh. And then he relapsed. So he needs to fucking grow up. I'll never support him again if he doesn't. Because I did support his chat. He wants me pissed at him. He's doing a very good job at it now. I mean, I don't get mad. I get even. I don't really get even. I get ahead. You know, you hit me once, I'm going to hit you fucking 10 times. I'm just like Trump. I'm a Yankee. It's the way we are.
Yes, or also I do a podcast for Town Hall. You know Town Hall Media. Town Hall, Hot Air, Red State, PJ Media, Twitchy. My buddy and colleague Katie Pavlich, Schlichter, Derek Hunter, all columnists with me at Town Hall. I do a daily 1-hour live show for them every single day at noon. It's on every video platform you can imagine. And you can also subscribe to that. If you just want the audio, go to Apple, go to Spotify. It's called Larry. The show is called Larry. Yes, the show is called Larry. Easy to remember. We're talking about this question from Martha Raddatz yesterday to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who, again, I want to repeat, was magnificent, pushing back on the garbage.
Martha Raddatz
on these shows.
That person.
Marie Brennan was the best. You know, frankly, I don't really care, Margaret, right? That one, Margaret Brennan. We'll play her in a second, but listen to the question again from Martha Raddatz, who I'm told is a really smart, intellectual, serious foreign policy wonk. And again, and like Joe Biden, she's wrong about everything.
Critics of President Trump will say the pomp and circumstance, the red carpet, the warm handshake, that President Trump simply lost that Putin gained there just by being on the world stage and walking down a red carpet with the president.
Oh, they're mad about Trump.
Well, put him on the world stage.
Trump's supposed to be in jail.
Victory for Putin. By the way, even if it is, in the world of diplomacy, sometimes you have to give somebody a victory, even if it's shallow and meaningless. What does it cost us? I'm not even stipulating the fact that it was a victory, but if you think in their terms, if you really play this out, that Putin needed this victory to shore up support at home, and it elevated him, and it made him, it helped him save face. So what does it cost us? What does it cost Zelensky? What does it cost Europe? What does it cost the Ukrainians? What does it cost Americans? If we can move this thing along and then have the meeting that we had today with European leaders say, all right, let's finish this up, and Putin's willing to, start to play ball and actually accept some kind of conversation and trilateral agreements because he's been able to save face a little bit and move the ball down the field because he was elevated to the world stage, as Martha Raddatz says. So what? Who cares? Unless you just want to stand on your principles and say, no, he's a monster and we should never even talk to them. And then, okay, you'll stand on your principles, but surrounding where you're standing there will be pools of blood. Because the war continues. And all of these experts like Martha Raddatz, listen, I'm not as old as I'm about to sound, but I was very young. I was the nerdy kid who actually paid attention to politics and the news and world affairs, because I was lucky enough to be a kid when Ronald Reagan was president, and giant things were happening in the world. And I was blessed to have a dad who pointed it out to me and said, son, this president is special. And what's going on right now with this president and this Pope, John Paul II, and this Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, we may never see another thing like this again. So I was a kid and I did pay attention. And I remember vividly the summit between Reagan and Gorbachev in Reykjavik, Iceland, when Reagan got up and walked away. And these same experts, the people like Martha Raddatz, people like John Kerry, people like Joe Biden at the time, they criticized Ronald Reagan. They criticized Ronald Reagan, and they said Reagan had failed at Reykjavik. And of course, history proves that if Reagan had given Gorbachev what he wanted at Reykjavik, the Soviet Union would probably still be there today. Reagan walked away And within a few years, the Berlin Wall fell. And they give credit to Gorbachev. They're always wrong. They're always wrong from a perspective that a strong pro-American, pro-freedom conservative leader is always wrong. It's always that perspective. The pro-freedom, pro-liberty, conservative, pro-strength, pro-American triumphalism has got to be the bad guy. So Reagan had to be wrong. It's the same people. Guys, it's the same people saying the same thing. Now, I'm not saying Trump is Reagan, and I'm not saying this is a Reykjavik moment. What I'm saying is they have not earned your trust. There is no reason why you should take these people seriously. And one other thing, if I may, but real fast. These people I'm talking about, and Joe Biden's a perfect example. Joe Biden and these foreign policy experts in Washington, D.C. that get paid a lot of money and live a really cushy life, drinking really good bourbon out of really nice crystal tumblers. I've seen it. Who are always wrong, who have been wrong for 50 years. These same people criticized Reagan when he walked away from Gorbachev at Reykjavik. And they criticized Reagan when he stood at the Brandenburg Gate in West Germany and proclaimed that Mr. Gorbachev should tear down this wall. Joe Biden, that night, the night that Ronald Reagan proclaimed, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, Joe Biden was on CNN crapping on the president, trashing Ronald Reagan. They never change. Ever. And then Martha Raddatz, with her critics will say, you know who she means, critics. Critics of the president will say she means herself and her buddies in the newsroom and the producers of ABC's This Week, which I guess also extends to Disney, Still another couple of weeks left in summer vacation. Spend your dollars wisely. Just remember, Disney owns ABC News. Let them know where you're spending your money and where you're not spending your money. Critics will say that the president elevated Vladimir Putin and gave him a victory by standing on a red carpet. They elevated his persona. Let me just pause for a moment here. Vladimir Putin is a thug. You shouldn't believe a word he says. You shouldn't trust him. He's a murderer. He's a criminal. He's a war criminal. He's the aggressor in this war. He's a bad man. He's KGB. He's a snake. Let me tell you something. The greatest thing that ever happened to this petty little KGB thug spy, this snake, this rat, the best thing that ever happened to Vladimir Putin was Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, Susan Rice, all the criminals from the Obama administration and all their pals in the media, Jake Tapper, George Stephanopoulos, Chuck Todd, all of them. They spent 3 years convincing the entire world that Vladimir Putin was so powerful, so maniacal. His tentacles had such reach and such influence that he upended the American presidency. They pushed a fake narrative, a fiction, a myth, a fairy tale to the people of this country and around the world that Donald Trump was in the White House, positioned to be the most powerful man on the planet, the leader of the free world, but he was really placed there because of the evil machinations of Vladimir Putin. That you talk about elevating Vladimir Putin, you talk about validating Vladimir Putin, You talk about giving Vladimir Putin a gift. That's what those people did. These people elevated Vladimir Putin to heights that he would have never possibly imagined. Because they hated Trump. And they had to rationalize why they were so wrong. They had to give a supportable excuse to why Hillary would lose to such a person. And in turn, they gave Vladimir Putin more propaganda power than he's ever had in his entire life and will ever have in his entire life. There are people to this day who still believe that Vladimir Putin is so powerful that he even placed Donald Trump, a casino owner and reality television star. He plucked him out, groomed him, and placed him in the Oval Office. That's how powerful Vladimir Putin is. And that's all because of your friends on the left. It's all because of people like Martha Raddatz and her boss, George Stephanopoulos, and Disney, and Comcast Universal, which owns NBC News, and Viacom and CBS News, and Discovery Warner and CNN. Yes, name the people in the boardrooms. Name and shame the corporations who do this to you. Who elevated Vladimir Putin? The Democratic Party elevated Vladimir Putin. It was the Democrats the entire time. And their propagandist pals in the media. And now we're supposed to wring our hands because Donald Trump stood next to him on a red carpet? Are you freaking kidding me? Now you're worried about giving Vladimir Putin a PR win? After you convinced the world that he controlled the presidency from the Kremlin? Good Lord. They don't deserve your respect. At all. A little bit more from Martha Raddatz, only because Rubio is so good. I would normally not make your ears bleed by listening to these harpies on the Sunday shows. But Rubio was so good. And this was my favorite one. This is my favorite one, where Martha Raddatz demands to know what was said behind closed doors and what concessions Vladimir Putin has given. Because, yeah, that's exactly what Marco Rubio is going to reveal.
Can you name any concessions that Vladimir Putin made during this meeting? Have any
I wouldn't name them on your
concessions?
program.
Have any
I
concessions
wouldn't name
been
them on your
asked?
program. Why would I do that?
Where is the
Well, of
pressure?
course, because you can't have a peace agreement. No, you can't have a peace agreement unless both sides give and get. You can't have a peace agreement unless both sides make concessions. That's a fact. That's true in virtually any negotiation. If not, it's just called surrender. And neither side is going to surrender. So both sides are going to have to make concessions. So, of course, concessions were asked. But what utility would there be of me going on a program and tell you we wagged our finger at Putin and told him you must do this and you must do that? It's only going to make it harder and less likely that they're going to agree to these things. So these negotiations, as much as everyone would love it to be a live pay-per-view event, these discussions only work best when they are conducted privately in serious negotiations in which people who have to go back and respond to constituencies, because even totalitarian governments have constituencies they have to respond to. People have to go back and defend these agreements that they make.
Good for you, Marco Rubio. Can you name any concessions, Vladimir? Why would I tell you? What would be the purpose of telling you that? Present have you gotten for her? Tell us now. Secretary Rubio, have you planned a surprise birthday party for your wife? If so, where will it be and at what time? And how will you try to convince her otherwise? What will be the plan so that she does not have any inkling of your surprise birthday party? Tell us right now. The American people demand to know. They're morons. They're absolute morons. And I love that Rubio treats them as such. But the best is Margaret Brennan, Face the Nation. I'll play that for you. Honestly, at this point, Margaret Brennan, on Friday, when she finds out what the show rundown is for Sunday, is who'd you book? Oh, it's Marco. If it's Marco Rubio or JD Vance, don't you think Margaret Brennan's like, oh, I think I'm coming down with something. Hey, no, don't get close. I don't want you to catch anything. Could be COVID. Maybe, malaria. I'm not sure. Major Garrett, fill in for me. I'm not feeling up to it. Yeah, this may be the last Margaret Brennan appearance you'll ever hear. We'll play it for you next. It's Larry O'Connor in for the great one, Mark Levin.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program is paving the way for a cure. Learn about symptoms, diagnosis, and breakthrough research at brightfocus.org or call us at 1-855-345-6237 for free resources.
This week on Celeb News, the Hollywood glow-up you never saw coming. It's DirecTV. They're shaking things up with flexible options that fit any kind of taste and budget. They only look like $1 million, baby. They got packs with live TV and streaming for one sexy low price. Slay! Wait, DirecTV is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Credit card and restrictions apply. Making sense of your world.
Common sense. Let's get back to common sense.
WMAL's Vince Colonnades. Weekdays at noon.
Now that should give you a lot of cause for hope.
News Talk 105.9. WMAL. Making sense of the news.
At Average Al's Furniture Warehouse, our sofas have cushions, our tables have 4 legs, our recliners recline. So come on by for a perfectly average experience.
Cumulus Digital doesn't stop at average. We work with more than 4,000 local businesses every month, delivering campaigns that beat industry averages by over 25%, driving real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer. With a captive audience of 1. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
Are you a parent of a child with disabilities who desperately needs a break? Hi, this is Brenda Solomon, wife of Lon Solomon, pastor of McLean Bible Church. Our daughter Jill is a child with severe disabilities. To help families like ours get that much-needed break, I want to tell you about Jill's House. At Jill's House, we'll be providing overnight care for children with disabilities as well as therapeutic activities. For more information, check out our website, jillshouse.org. That's jillshouse.org.
A fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt, at up to 100 times more potent than morphine. The tiniest amount of illegal fentanyl is all it takes to cause an overdose. Fentanyl can be mixed into heroin, cocaine, pressed pills, meth, and other drugs. It could be in your drugs, and you wouldn't be able to see it, taste it, or smell it. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop overdose.
If you're with one of the big three wireless carriers, you're really overpaying for your service. You're paying for thousands of retail stores you never go into. You're paying for unnecessary perks you never use. You're paying a massive premium for what you think is superior 5G service. Guess what? Pure Talk uses the same 5G network on the same 5G towers. The only difference, they don't charge you for any of the garbage. Instead, Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, plenty of data for just $25 a month. That's less than half the price of the big guys during a time when saving a buck really matters. I am a Pure Talk customer. I made the switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So folks, do this right now from your cell phone. Dial pound 250. Say Mark Levin. It's that simple. And you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. You can switch over to Pure Talk in as little as 10 minutes. Dial pound 250. Say keyword Mark Levin to switch to Pure Talk. Wireless by Americans for Americans.
Making sense of your world. Talk radio is where I get all of my information. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Larry O'Connor sitting in for the great one, Mark Levin. We are reflecting on today's events at the White House, and the best way to reflect on it is to look at what they were saying yesterday. So here's Margaret Brennan, Face the Nation, with Marco Rubio. Listen to how she paints the picture of this again, it's a myth. They don't deal in reality, these people. And here she is painting the picture that you saw. You saw what happened today. Well, according to Margaret Brennan, what you saw today was the Europeans coming to the rescue for Zelensky because Trump was going to bully him into making a peace deal.
You know, there's concern from the Europeans that President Zelensky is going to be bullied into signing something away. That's why you have these European leaders coming as backup tomorrow. Can you?
No, it isn't. That's not why they're coming as back. That's not true. No, but that's not why. That's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're not coming.
February Oval Office
they're coming here tomorrow
in front of television cameras where President Zelensky.
You know how many meetings we've had since then?
Oh no, I know, and I was just up in Alaska watching the one with Vladimir Putin where a red carpet rolled
No,
out.
but it was Zelensky. We've had more meetings. We've had.
They hate this carpet. Should they have done it more like the color of borscht? Would purple have been better? Green, perhaps? I think the only carpet they've got at the Air Force Base is going to be a red one. That's what they use for dignitaries. Doesn't matter. They're fixated on the carpet color. I'm sorry. It drives me insane. All right, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
We had one meeting with Putin and like a dozen meetings with Zelensky. But that's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're coming here tomorrow because we've been working with the Europeans. We talked to them last week. There were meetings in the UK over the previous weekend.
And they said President Trump was going to demand a ceasefire
as early as Thursday. But you said that they're coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're not coming here tomorrow. Oh, this is such a stupid media narrative that they're coming here tomorrow because Trump is going to bully Zelensky into a bad deal. We've been working with these people for weeks.
Good for Marco Rubio. Boy, is he rising to the occasion here as Secretary of State. What a stupid media narrative. You don't know what you're talking about. Listen, coming up, we've got more on what happened today. I want to hear from you at 877-381-3811. And I want to give you a first-hand report on crime in D.C. The numbers are astounding thanks to Trump. Keep it here. I'm Larry O'Connor, in for the great one, Mark Levin.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solution.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
News now. He wants a deal. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump says he's setting up for a meeting between the leaders of Russia and Ukraine.
After meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and several European leaders here, President Trump says he spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin to begin making arrangements for a meeting between Putin and Zelensky. A peace agreement, the president says, will include security guarantees for Ukraine backed by the U.S.
We're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term.
But President Trump adds,
we also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact.
European leaders are pushing for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte tells Fox's Laura Ingraham it's a breakthrough that the U.S. got involved. And he says more details on security guarantees will be discussed in the coming days.
Clearly, for Ukraine to consider what to do next when it comes to territory, it is important to also know what the situation will be with the security guarantees to prevent Vladimir Putin from ever trying again to invade parts of Ukraine.
Ukraine's President Zelensky said this evening that Ukraine is ready for any format to meet with Putin. After they fled the state for 2 weeks, Texas Democrats were back at the state capitol for a special session as they continue to protest congressional redistricting.
The Texas legislature could pass the new congressional map as soon as this week, and House Democrats say they plan to challenge that map in court immediately. This week, California Democrats are expected to pass their own new congressional map that would create 5 new Democratic districts if voters approve the map in November.
Fox's Garrett Tenney in Austin. America's listening to Fox News.
Still in charge? I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. Mayor Muriel Bowser is denying the Trump administration has taken over the D.C. Police Department.
Let me correct you. There is no takeover. What there is a surge in federal law enforcement.
She says federal officers need to coordinate with D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith. Meanwhile, U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, says the surge is working. 127 people were arrested on the weekend. And
with our federal partners and this cooperative law enforcement effort, we seized 21 illegal guns.
Bowser says MPD confiscates illegal guns daily, and more officers means more results. A Durwood man's been charged with murdering his mother. Last Friday, Montgomery County Police were called to a home on Muncaster Road for a report of a missing woman, Victoria Shea. 60-year-old Daniel Shea told officers he didn't know where his mother was, and an investigation turned up Victoria's body around Route 124 and Brink Road. Police then searched the home she shared with her son and his roommate, 59-year-old Dwayne Embry, and found enough evidence to charge Daniel with first-degree murder and Embry with accessory for allegedly helping his friend get rid of the body. And the 5 Northern Virginia school districts that are on the outs with the Trump administration over bathroom policies for transgender students are waiting for the next shoe to drop.
We're going to continue to be the school division that welcomes and includes all students.
Fairfax County School Superintendent Michelle Reed speaking with 7 News this morning. Fairfax, along with Prince William, Loudoun, Arlington, and Alexandria, all rejected an order to fall in line with federal policy this past Friday.
We do expect some type of response at some point later this week. week. But until then, we're excited about welcoming our students back to school.
The U.S. Education Department says it's now in the process of suspending federal funding to all 5 school systems. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon. And now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In D.C., 3rd Street Tunnel, the northbound tube is stop and go from Massachusetts Avenue to New York Avenue. On 295, the Anacostia Freeway, southbound, lanes are blocked for a crash just before Burroughs Avenue. Traffic is jammed from Eastern Avenue. Coming out of the district on New York Avenue, you'll find it stop and go from the 3rd Street Tunnel to 4th Street. In Prince George's County, inner loop of the Beltway is slow from the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit to 202. And the outer loop of the Beltway in Prince George's County is stop and go from Ritchie Marlborough Road to Medical Center Drive. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, overcast, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance for a few late morning showers, highs in the upper 70s.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Driving high will get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell you're driving high, well, everyone else can. Friends?
I can tell you drove high.
Parents?
I can tell when you drive high.
Relatives?
I can tell. You drove here high, didn't you?
So what makes you think law enforcement can't?
I can tell.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and I couldn't afford to keep the house.
Oh, honey, that's awful.
You know, my brother got $2 million in life insurance coverage through Ethos for around $2 a day, all online.
Hey, let's do it. That way we both can sleep better at night. Ethos, life insurance made easy. Get covered instantly at ethos.com/dreams. That's ethos.com/dreams. Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 40-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly. Application times vary.
.com. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
Mark Levin by his book On Power by Mark Levin. It's the #1 New York Times bestseller. And it's a great way when you need your Mark Levin fix. He is back tomorrow, I'm told, by the way. Thank you very much. So we're looking forward to him coming back. But what a historic day it was in Washington, D.C. But I'm the morning radio host here in Washington on WMAL, Mark's home radio station here in the nation's capital. And so we kind of get used to everybody paying attention to what's going on in our little neighborhood. But today was special with all the world leaders coming by and what appears to be a breakthrough, hopefully, with regard to some peace in Eastern Europe. And we talked about it quite a bit, and we talked about why, you really, really shouldn't trust the media in any way whatsoever, because they're always wrong. They're always wrong. And one thing they've been wrong about, and something that I've been talking about on my radio show, is crime in Washington, D.C. I've been talking about the crime in Washington, D.C. for over 10 years now, because I've seen the crime get worse and worse and worse. Everyone says, we have a crime problem in Washington. We have a crime problem in D.C., or people have been saying that right up until Donald Trump wanted to do something about it. And then suddenly you heard people say, we don't have a crime problem in D.C. There's no crime problem in D.C. Okay, fine. You want to pretend like there isn't a crime problem in D.C.? That's fine. How about this? Let me rephrase it for you. We have a criminal problem in D.C. We have a major problem with criminals. And we have a major problem with criminals who insist on voting for Democrats so that when they get arrested for their crimes, they're let free and they're not punished. And they're able to get back out on the streets and wreak havoc and commit more crimes. So yeah, okay, fine. We don't have a crime problem. We have a criminal problem. And last week, a week ago today, President Donald Trump exercised his executive authority over the nation's capital as per the Constitution and statute. And he asserted control over the law enforcement activities under an emergency power, which he has every right to exercise, and thank God that he did. And it's amazing. You know, a week ago, we had reporters for the New York Times saying, this is made up. There's no crime. I see no crime around here. I don't see any crime. What's the problem with crime? And then this week, the same reporters were saying, you know, he's only sending federal law enforcement and National Guards to, you know, the nice neighborhoods or around the monuments. Why doesn't he send it to the black wards and the Southeast DC neighborhoods where the crime is? And I'm like, excuse me, I thought you said there was no crime. But of course there's crime. But we've got some number. It's been a week, and we have astounding data here. And I want to flesh this out for a minute, and I would love to hear from you. I know we got a lot of people who are on hold, and I'm sorry, I've had a lot to say. And I will get to your calls. A lot of you want to talk about Putin and Zelensky in the meeting today and Trump. We'll take your calls on that. And if you want to talk, would you like Trump to exercise federal control over your city? I don't think he can, by the way. He can send in certain federal law enforcement agencies to protect federal buildings, right? And there's probably a federal courthouse in the major metropolitan area where you live. But don't you wish all of a sudden that you lived in Washington so that you could get this kind of attention and focus? Because listen here, and give us a call at 877-381-3811. The DC Police Union, woefully understaffed. I think they've got 800 openings or something. Ton of them all lost their jobs because of COVID because they didn't want to do the mandates. Ton of them left because Black Lives Matter was painted on a street where cops had been beaten up and shoved around and attacked by maniac Antifa BLM activists, terrorists. And the city's response was to reward the terrorists and give them everything. And then cops like, hell, I don't need this. They left. They're cops in the suburbs now. A lot of them went to Florida, took a cushy job down there. They needed more cops down there because of all the people that were fleeing states up here. So they're woefully understaffed. They needed the reinforcement. The DC Police Union is thrilled that they have some help and support now. And get this. This is a statement from the police union in the District of Columbia. DC crime, since the announcement of federal control versus the 7 days prior, because it's just been a week, right? So you take the crime stats from this last week versus the stats the week before that. Robbery, 46% drop. 46% drop. Carjacking, 83% drop. Car theft, 21% drop. Violent crime, 22% drop. Property crime, 6% drop. All crimes, 8% drop. In 1 week. The new U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. You know her as Judge Janine. I know her now as my U.S. Attorney, Janine Pirro.
Everyone, is Judge Janine filling you in on what's going on in the surge in Washington, D.C. We're at more than 400 arrests over the weekend, 127 this past weekend with our federal partners and this cooperative law enforcement effort. We seized 21 illegal guns. We've made arrests on warrants for homicide, sexual predators, drug trafficking, illegals. If you want to be in D.C. and you're a criminal, you're not welcome.
That says it all. And you know what? Let me tell you something else. I've lived here for going on, I'm in my 14th year now. I don't ever remember seeing the U.S. Attorney giving any statement to criminals saying, get out of here, you're not welcome. I don't remember a U.S. Attorney saying, yeah, we're cracking down and we're going to arrest you and we're going to throw you in jail and we're going to throw away the key. No, the U.S. attorneys under Barack Obama and under Joe Biden, they would make statements about, well, we have to understand the rage that these criminals feel. You know, we're going to set up some new community programs. You can't arrest your way out of this crime problem. You can't. The last thing we want to do is arrest the criminals. We have to feel their pain, give them a little space to, you know, exercise their demons maybe. Blow off a little steam. The fact that she even made a statement on a video like that is phenomenal. In fact, I did a quick search, and I could be wrong. And listen, homicides happen in this town, although it's the hardest stat to fudge, because you either have a dead body or you don't, right? But I remember the day this was announced, and we had protesters at DuPont Circle. And literally, like 4 blocks away, I think, at Logan Circle, a guy was shot in cold blood in the afternoon on the street. While there were protesters screaming, "We don't want Trump. We don't need law enforcement. We're fine. There's no crime crisis." And like 4 blocks away from them, guy got shot. And he died. He was murdered in the middle of the afternoon. Like blocks away from museums and monuments and the White House. And I did a search earlier today. I believe that was the last murder in Washington, D.C. The day that this announcement was made. So 6 days ago, 6.5 days ago. I could, and again, I apologize if I'm wrong, but that was the search that I did, and I checked it on a couple of different, high-powered AI search engines. That was the last murder. So we've gone almost a week now without a murder in D.C., which, by the way, I believe we just hit our 100th murder of the year a week before. So that's averaging well more than 1 murder a week. And people in Washington, D.C. had accepted this as the new normal. It's like, oh, what are you going to do? Kids will be kids. Nothing else we can do. And our mayor says there's nothing more we can do. And the district council says there's nothing. Or they blame the Republicans. They blame Trump. So it's working. And he has full authority to do this. Everybody's already litigated that. In fact, we now have the phenomenon of people in this town, in Washington, in certain neighborhoods saying, hey, where's our National Guard? Where's our reinforcements? We want it too. And they're coming. They're coming. And it makes sense that Trump first wanted to secure some of the most high-profile public neighborhoods where there's a lot of tourists and there's a lot of people, because you got to send the signal that we've got safety, and there's priorities. And by the way, I want to reiterate this. This has not happened in a vacuum for Donald Trump. Donald Trump was born in Queens. He is nearly 80 years old. He spent 90% of his life living in New York City. And during a bad time. Trump and I lived in New York at the same time. Actually, I sort of saw the rise of Trump. When I first moved to New York, it was 1986. And that's when he had just finished his project with the Woolman Rink. You've heard this legendary story where the city was trying to get this rink in Central Park, a skating rink, working. And they spent millions of dollars and wasted it and never got anything done. And Trump said, I'll do it. And he did it in like a month. And he did it as a gift to New York. And suddenly you had an ice rink. And then Trump Tower had just been opened a couple of years before. And Trump was sort of on the ascendant. And so but Ed Koch was the mayor. And then Ed Koch was replaced by David Dinkins. And it was bad. It was really bad. People ask me, when will New York have a Republican mayor again? And I think back to the last time they voted for a Republican mayor. It was Rudy Giuliani. And do you know why they voted for a Republican mayor? Because it was bad. It was really, really bad. And so my answer is the same when they say, when will we have a governor? Because I've lived in Los Angeles and in California for most of my life. I tend to go where the liberals are in charge. And they, when will we have a Republican mayor of LA? When will we have a Republican governor of California? It's like, in the 90s, in the glorious 1990s, can we call them the gay 90s? That is a different connotation now. I guess we can't. You had a Republican governor of New York in George Pataki. You had a Republican mayor of New York City in Rudy Giuliani. You had a Republican governor of California, Pete Wilson. And you had a Republican mayor of Los Angeles, Dick Reardon. And things were great. I am telling you, as a person who was bi-coastal, working for a New York-based company in Manhattan, as their representative in Los Angeles, I was flying back and forth between Manhattan and LA a lot. And it was the best time to be in both of those places. And it was because things had gotten so bad in those cities and in those states, they were so desperate they turned to a Republican. And it got fixed pretty quickly. And Donald Trump witnessed that. He saw how bad it was, and he saw Giuliani within 2 years to turn New York City around. And guess what? Part of it, Trump's doing the same thing in D.C. You know what Giuliani's first focus was when he became mayor? In terms of cleaning up the streets, getting rid of the homeless, getting rid of the drug dealers, getting rid of the vagrants, getting rid of the hustlers, getting rid of the prostitutes. It was Times Square. He focused on Times Square, and he cleaned up Times Square, and it sent a message to the world that law and order was back, and they cared, and it was safe, and the tourists were welcome. And so what is Trump doing in D.C.? He starts with the monuments. He starts with the mall. He starts where the museums are, and it sends a message. And look, it's working. In just 1 week, it's working. But the liberals in D.C., mostly affluent, protected white liberals in politics or the media, they hate it. And I'm going to share some of their thoughts. And I want to hear from you about Putin, about Zelensky, about what Trump is doing in D.C., and whether you think it'll work in your city. I want to hear from you. 877-381-3811. I'm Larry O'Connor, in for the great one, Mark Levin.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the new.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox 1 is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox 1.
Dude, guess how much I pay for $1 million term life insurance policy? I don't know, at least $100? Nope. I got coverage through Ethos for around $69 a month, and it's all online. Really? Wow, I need that for my family. Yeah, you do. That way, if something happens to you, they're protected. Ethos, life insurance made easy. Get your free quote today at ethos.com/start. That's ethos.com/start. Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for a 40-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This week on Sports News, football's newest star ain't no rookie. It's DirecTV. They make it easy to find your pro and college teams across live TV and streaming apps so you never miss a moment. And with access to your game stats and scores in one place, it's good. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. Internet-connected Gemini device and separate subscriptions required. New residential customers auto-renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Equipment lease required. Unreturned device fees apply. Credit card and restrictions apply.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passersby are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. And now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO, and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college. Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/talk. That's ethos.com/talk.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news.
Larry O'Connor in for Mark Levin, a local television station here in D.C., the ABC affiliate, Channel 7. They have a man on the street, and the banner under the bottom part of the screen says, Federal Takeover. Federal take. I love the... What's wrong with this? You all attend the 3 hour a day, 15 hours a week, Mark Levin constitutional class here on the Mark Levin Show. I'm a fellow student, Larry O'Connor, sitting in for Mark Levin. Here's a quick pop quiz for all of the students there in Mark Levin's constitutional class. When Donald Trump asserted his executive privilege and rights over the District of Columbia by instituting cooperation between federal law enforcement and the local police department and exercising his rights, claiming a crisis in crime from the Home Rule statute. Would you call that a federal takeover? Let me ask the question another way. If the District of Columbia is in fact a federal district under the constitutional control of the federal government, headed by the chief executive of that federal government, the President of the United States, aren't they already over the District of Columbia? Don't they already have a certain level of control? Did you know that every law that gets passed through the District Council in Washington and signed by the mayor is not a law until Congress approves it? Did you know that Congress has the right to reject any law passed by the District Council and signed in by the mayor? That is true. Would that be a federal takeover? No. It's the federal government exercising the actual constitutional powers that were given to them by the founding fathers in the Constitution on day one. Federal takeover. That said, I love this. When they go to crime-ridden neighborhoods, when they talk to, I've seen so many man on the street interviews with DC residents of color. They all say, I hate the crime. I hate that it got this way. If Trump can help, great, bring on the help. But when they go to a white liberal who works in DC for the government, you always hear this kind of thing. Listen to this.
Yeah, you have young people who rob CVS's, and yeah, you have young people who will go and take down a 7-Eleven. But the answer isn't pouring the National Guard in here. The answer is programs that raise kids up.
Yeah. Sure, you got kids who rob a CVS and take down a 7-Eleven, but you don't bring in the National Guard yet. You get taxpayer-funded programs to raise them up because that's been working well.
WMAL.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-995-4766 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-995-4766. That's 800-995-4766. What do you have to lose? Call 800-995-4766. Again, 800-995-4766.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Banking has its perks. We make sure of it. Open an account with Community Bank and get the features that work for you, including higher rates on CDs, lower rates on personal loans, early pay up to 1 day sooner. You'll even get a free Greenlight subscription. Crush your financial goals and open the right account for you. Stop into a local branch or visit cbna.com/bankhappyperks to open your account today. Conditions and restrictions apply. Member FDIC.
I'm Brent, and I've been on Nutrafol for almost 5 years now. When my hair first started thinning, I wanted to attack the problem head on. I liked Nutrafol because it was a hair growth supplement that was completely drug-free. After 3 months, my hair got stronger and thicker, which gave a huge boost to my social life. I mean, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/MEN. Real customers were compensated to share their stories.
Let's talk about America. Not taxes or tweets or the issues that divide us, but how incredible our country is. Whether you come home to a crowded city street or sleepy small town, everyone deserves to live in a clean, green, and thriving community. We are Keep America Beautiful, the nonprofit working with millions of people like you to end littering, improve recycling, and beautify communities. Learn more at KAB.org. Together, we can do beautiful
making
things.
sense of the border, because laws either matter or they don't.
All right, I'm going to end this and I'll be back later.
For free.
30 minutes. Are y'all doing the head bop right now?
I'm going to make me something to eat.
I know I am. That's what you got to do. You got to do that thing with the head bop, because I talked about the 90s. Hey, follow me on
I'm
social
hungry.
media, Larry